Happy Sunday, everyone. Happy Sunday. I hope everybody's having a good Sunday out there. I'm just going to keep setting up a little bit here while we wait for a couple of people to come in. If anybody's going to join, you never know with Sunday night. People go to bed early, go to work, got to work in the morning. This way. Ah, these wings are huge. Okay, I think it's the other way. Like this. Oh my god, it's like a USB plug. Okay, I had it right the first try. It's like that. Okay. Man, that is big. Oh, the wings are just really impressive on this model. Hey, music, how are you? I like the name, man. That's a cool. Have you been in the chat before? I like your name. I'm a fellow musician. I'm assuming you're a musician, or maybe you just like music forever. That's friggin' awesome. Okay, I gotta reposition my camera here a little bit. Oh, hey! Hi, Lori. Music is forever. Forever, never, never. So at the beginning of the live streams, it's usually really slow, and I kind of just fiddle around and size up the model and figure out what I'm doing. And I want to wait for a couple more people to come in also before I start telling your story and everything like that. Um, Generally, what I tell people about my channel is this is a place for everybody to hang out. Most of us have some kind of hobby, some kind of passion that we love, and my channel is driven to help people enjoy their passions even more than they already do, for one, um, and their hobbies for that matter. And at the same time, we'll sit and discuss things and of all types, all things in life. What are you having for dinner tonight comes up a lot. Um, and we've talked about kidney disease on the channel before. I did a model for a young lady, sister of a good friend of mine, and she was a kidney disease and transplant survivor. And her favorite comic book character or story thing in the whole world is Sailor Moon. So I made a Sailor Moon for her. And as you know, Lori, since you're here, and by the way, ladies and gentlemen, for anybody watching later um, or now, Lori, who this dragon is for, and also we're doing this for kidney disease awareness. We're doing it for a whole bunch of reasons, but mainly for Lori, and hopefully we can generate some help for her cause. She's going through a lot right now, and any little bit helps. In the description of this live stream, you're always going to find a GoFundMe link that goes directly to Lori. She's here in the chat with us, and we get started on this awesome dragon by CA3D Studios. And yeah, so let's see, well, uh, looks like we already got 6 people in the chat already. The Kenny's in the house tonight. It's Kenny, buddy. Uh, my mind is definitely turning. Oh, dragon, beautiful, and the scale for it is quite nice. The castle is just phenomenal. Um, it's like an extra large mini that you would get from like Dungeons and Dragons or something. Hey, Gabriel's in the house too. Welcome everyone. Thanks for coming in. Um, so yeah, we're doing this for Lori. She's fighting kidney failure right now, kidney disease, and I'm doing this to help her out and show her some love and the entire community as well. There's a GoFundMe link again down in the description, and any little thing you guys can do is a huge help. And again, that's for Lori. So I'm going to talk a little bit while I figure something here. Of course, I lost it. I had everything. Oh, there it is. Okay, I have everything ready to go. So I'm going to read you something that Lori sent to me, and this is her story, just so you guys can know what she's going through. And I'm going to start working while we're getting at it, and I'll cut off in between it also, um, just so I can tell you what's going on. Um, so, oh, Lori's working from her hospital room right now, guys. That's freaking awesome, and shitty. That sucks. I would rather you not be in the hospital, but we'll get to that. Um, so this is from Lori. In 2023, my life changed in a way I never saw coming. I had an emergency C-section 5 weeks early after my body went into distress. What we didn't know at the time was that my kidneys were already under extreme strain, and during recovery, I wasn't getting any better. And after more testing, I was diagnosed with polycystic kidney disease at stage 3. Lame. That is lame. I would not be happy to hear that news at all, as I'm sure you weren't, Lori. It was freaking terrifying. Um, since then, it's been a fight to keep going. I returned to school after a year of testing and treatment and completed my physical therapist assistant program, which, by the way, guys, Lori is one of my physical therapists. Most of you guys know that we talk and stuff every week. You know that I've been going through some shizzle with my shoulders, nerve issues, all kinds of fun stuff. And Lori has been one of the wonderful, amazing people that helps me out on a weekly basis. So thank you for that, Lori. Um, so Lori returned to school. She says after a year of testing and treatment and completed my physical therapist assistant program while managing her health, working part-time and raising her daughter without nearby family support. Along the way, she developed severe anemia and needed 10 iron infusions just to have the energy to get through daily life. Holy mackerel. Um, this is hard to read. Um, Today, she's at stage 4 kidney failure with only 28% function, and her condition is progressing. And once she reaches 20%, she'll be in the process for kidney transplant, and she's going to start searching for a donor, likely within the year. After transplant, she's going to need to temporarily relocate because she needs to be close to the hospital for really close monitoring after the surgery, and that's going to bring significant financial strain on top of everything else. So that's why I'm doing this, is to help her out and bring awareness to what's going on with not only her and other people that are suffering with this nasty disease. Um, Lori writes, continues on to say the journey's taken her from running 2 Boston marathons and completing an Ironman to struggling through an 8-hour workday due to fatigue and pain from enlarged kidneys. Um, um, she's sharing her story not just because it's hard, but because it is real. Polycystic kidney disease changes lives really quickly, as I'm sure you guys are hearing right now, or maybe you even know personally already. A lot of people don't realize how serious it can be until it progresses, and sometimes it's just too late by then. And we're hoping that that is not the case here. And of course, like Lori, you're going to be with us for a super long time. And if again, if you guys are able to support or share this story, share these live streams with us, any which way you can help is amazing. Um, it means a lot. So anything you guys can do to support, we're gonna go on from there. And yeah, I don't really know what else to say about it right now. I'm gonna switch back over to the chat and start concentrating more on what we're doing here and talking about this story. You guys are welcome to chat, of course, whatever you want in the chat. Lori's here with us, so she can answer. The audio was breaking up. Okay, is it still doing that? Let me check my. It is all good now. Okay. Shows my mic's connected. All right, cool. Could have just been some internet farting. I don't know. By the way, Lori, typically when I do my live streams, they are NSFW, just because I typically speak very freely and I cuss a lot. But for your sake and just in case your kids are around and stuff, and families with you in the hospital, I'm gonna keep it mellow as possible tonight. Cool. All right. So right off the bat, in prep for getting this guy painted up, I'm just giving it a good look over and seeing where we've got like support. I call them nibs or zits. These are the places on the model where the supports have stuck to it, and sometimes they leave little artifacts behind that look like pimples, and they're small typically, but you want to get rid of them as best you can. And so I kind of just go over everything, pick off the bigger ones with like an X-Acto blade, and just give it a good look over. And you can see on his neck here, I don't know if you can see those. There's just really slight little bumps. So we're going to give this guy a quick sanding with this little soft bit on his neck. And I want to hold it carefully because these spines are super delicate. That's it. And granted, too, like we won't really see his neck because he's kind of hunching over the castle, you know. But some really, really cool detail in this guy. So one of Lori's, it's just you, be you, boo boo. Okay. So one of the reasons why we kind of picked a dragon is because one of Lori's favorite stories is called Fourth Wing by the author Rebecca Yarros. And Violet Sorrengail is the heroine who, in the stories, she reshapes what strength looks like. She's not the biggest or most physically imposing girl. In fact, her body is often working against her, but she refuses to let that define her limits. She leads with resilience, intelligence, grit. She's an awesome chick, basically. She's a little badass. And she's always she's showing up, adapting, she's fighting through fear and pain, whatever makes her so inspiring, especially if you're into negative challenges with your own body. It's not that she didn't overcome by becoming someone else. She learns her body, respects it, still demands space for herself in a world that wasn't built with her in mind. Violet reminds us that strength can be quiet, strategic, and deeply personal, and that being underestimated can become its own kind of power. So, Violet has herself a couple of super friend dragons. it's I haven't read the book, so I don't know shit about it. What's up, Aaron? Welcome to the chat, dude. Thanks for coming in, man. Um, I'm gonna cut off about Violet real quick because I really don't know shit about her, anyways. But this I tried for the first time today. This concoction in here. This is UV resin or just resin from a 3D printer mixed with baby powder. There's a lot of really expensive like UV putties and shit that you can buy out there. And I've been hearing for the longest time that there's a way to make your own using baby powder and resin. And so I thought I'd try it out. And it is incredible. It's got some really weird, bleh, it's got some really weird properties too. You can see when I'm playing with it here, it's kind of grainy looking, but kind of like when you're walking on the beach where the sand is starting to get wet, you wiggle your toe on it, it starts to it starts to liquefy. And this does the same shit. It's really trippy. It's also super fucking toxic. I'm not touching any part of it right now with my bare hands, and I don't want to. Um, so I'm using it very carefully, but you can see it's gotten shiny now. It's really strange and kind of fun to play around with, but it also works incredibly well. So I'm gonna kind of show you guys how we've got some very tiny gaps along this rock here, um, just right here that's going to be visible. So I'm going to fix that. And then we're going to put another line along this little tiny gap over here. It's actually really well put together, this model. And huge kudos to CA3D Studios. They are not sponsoring this video, by the way, guys. I do pay my own money for this file. I have a membership to CA3D Studios. And, if you're into 3D printing and you have a printer or anything, I highly recommend this model. I mean, if you're into dragons or anything like that. So I'm just kind of working this stuff around. And you can see it's really funky to work with. But once you play with it, you start feeling out how it moves and sticks to the model. And I'm just going to kind of play around with it here and get it looking like as close as I can to the texture around it. Okay, and then I'm going to move this out of the way because I'm about to pull out some UV light. This is my little UV light pen. I'm just going to expose that for a few seconds. And that's going to cure all that resin inside that baby powder, and that's it. It's done. And then I can take it and clean it up a little bit. Now that's ready for paint. That's done. Like, nice little fix, really easy. Can't really see the other gap over here, but now we're going to come in down here and start getting this little area. There'll be dragons here. Protect yourself. I can do voices too, Jody. What's up, my guy? So again, shout out to Lori Sharp. That's who this is for. And we're bringing awareness to kidney disease and Lori's story through this dragon of hope, whatever you want to call it. There's a link in the description for Lori's GoFundMe. Anything you can do, guys, to help out is awesome. I think I even have Super Chat now or something in here. So if you want to donate anything through my channel, I don't know how you do that. But I would prefer that everything goes directly to Lori. And again, in the description of this live streams, there's in every live stream I do for this dragon, you'll find her link to GoFundMe. So just go click on that link and help her directly. That's anything you can do. Awesome. And again, Lori's in the chat with us tonight too, from her hospital room here in Ventura. Lori is one of my awesomest and favorite physical therapists. She's been really super. Despite all the bullshit she's dealing with, that girl still comes to work every day to help assholes like me feel better.
So I'm just kind of moving this around to, I don't care if it's a little chunky. We're just kind of covering up these little tiny gaps. And if it's a little chunky, that's okay because this is rock. Anyways, Jody, how you doing, buddy? How was your stream today? I was busy most of the afternoon and wasn't able to catch it. Sorry I missed you guys, man. Jody, this is a mixture of baby powder and printer resin, and it makes a really bitchin' gap putty sealer. This is the first time I'm trying it out today, and this stuff is awesome. I won't even tell you how to mix it, dude. Just play around. Um, unless you already know this trick. This stuff is great. I'm just kind of pushing it around right now and getting it into little spots and kind of sculpting it with a stick to make it look like it's rock. Just want it to blend in a little better. That's good. It's, dude, the properties on this stuff is so weird. When you gouge through it like that, it looks all powdery. And within a few seconds, you can see the surface starting to get shiny. And it starts moving back together again. Like I was saying earlier, it's like wet sand at a beach. It starts to liquefy when you wiggle it. Yeah, it's really trippy. And super toxic. It was fun but short, huh? Okay. You don't see a super set it up in YouTube Studio. Okay. Again, I'm not even concerned with that. I just, if anybody wants to help, as long as it goes direct to Lori, that's even better. She's got a lot of shit coming up. I'm trying to help her out here. And she's going to have a cool ass dragon out of it, too. Now I'm just going to get a Q-tip and kind of push it in there so it kind of blends it a little bit better. For those in the back of the class, this stuff is super toxic. I'm just being really, really careful using my bare hands to not touching it with my bare hands, I should say. So that looks good, and I think I'm just going to go ahead and develop it or cure it. And that's done. That's ready for paint. It looks good. Now the other part I'm curious about is setting up the top part of the castle. I haven't decided or figured out yet, like what's the easiest way going to be to to paint this guy. It only fits one way there. And I'm thinking I could just go ahead and glue on the top part for the castle here. And like this is like a handle. I can still get under here and paint, and I've got a nice big thing to hang on to. 'Cause I'm going to be painting from the bottom up. And the dragon's going to be painted completely separately from the rest of the model. Glue and baking soda, yeah. Yeah, this stays viscous though. I imagine the shelf life's pretty good on it too. As long as you don't, as long as it doesn't get hit by any UV light, you're gonna be good. You're gonna be solid or not solid. Yeah, it's really trippy and it works really really well. Like I'm super impressed with it. I'm surprised it honestly took. I'm honestly surprised it took me this long to try it. I want to make sure I have the right orientation before I even. I want to make sure I have the right orientation before I glue it on there. Yeah, you know what? I do need to glue it on there because there's a couple gaps here. I'm gonna have to. That whole gap all around there is gonna have to get filled in. And I make sure it's nice and level when I glue this on too. Mm, no, I'm not really worried about painting the castle bottom first, Jody. Looking it over, I mean, it's pretty easy brushwork as it is. It's going to be simple base coats and washes with dry brushing highlights. You know, really, the paint job should honestly go pretty quick. And I've done these types of rooftops and everything before. They also go really quick. You know, simple washes and stuff. The details are so small. It's the big picture overall. The dragon is going to be the star of the show too. I've got some really, I think, what are going to be very fun ideas for this dragon. The way it's going to look. But thank you, dude. Hang on to that for a minute. The nice thing about sealing gaps with these too is, you know, with this baby powder, it adds more structure to it and it's going to be sturdier. It's a little, the stuff's a little tricky to play with, but I like it. So how you feeling right now, Lori? Pretty okay today? You said you were able to get up and walk around a little bit today. That's good. Sucks being in bed all the time. Especially for somebody like you, you're always moving. I'm still learning how to play with this putty, but I really like the way it works. Hit this sucker with some UV. Oh, that looks good. Oh, I see a part I missed. Today was a better day. They just told you they found out that they were able to get the cancer. I saw that. Oh yeah, by the way, just to get a double dose of fun, they decided to throw cancer into the mix for Lori too, in her colon, and they didn't, and there wasn't any. Okay, so Lori says they told me that they found out that they were able to get all the cancer out of the colon, and there wasn't any found in the tumor lymph nodes. So yeah, that's good. Yeah, ready to feel better, I bet. We all are ready for you to feel better, Lori. I certainly hope you are feeling better soon. I'll be missing you tomorrow when I go to PT. That was really awesome what everybody did for you with the card and the flowers and all the goodies to help out. And I should tell you, I have this really neat paint that is color shifting. So like if you look at it with one light direction and then shift over and look at it from another direction, it changes colors, like kind of metallic looking. And I thought it'd be really, I have a good idea about using it on for dragon skin. I think it's gonna look really, really, really cool. And if it doesn't look really, really cool, I'll just change it. But I gotta try it out because the idea I have in mind for the skin on the dragon and the wings and the spines and the horns, and it's gonna look bitchin'. It's gonna look really cool, and definitely gonna be incorporating some of the color schemes that the dragons in the story have as well. So make sure I exposed all of this. I can't recall short terms going today. All right, I just see a little bit around under here. I want to clean up a little bit. Kenny is still with us here. Kenny's still in the chat from HobbyLink International. And Kenny, if you're still here, dude, I hope you're making good progress on your studio, man. Really looking forward to seeing you back in the studio and cranking out projects. All right. So that looks pretty damn good. Now, the other one I wanted to fix up is the gaps on this wing. These wings are super impressive. I already did the other wing, by the way. I should show you guys that. And I think it looks pretty damn good. So this was the fix. The yellowish color is from the little soft bit I was using right here. But that'll be gone, of course, when I paint it. But it filled that up pretty damn well. We'll know better when we start putting primer down on it. because paint makes everything show up. Yeah, I remember you used it on one of your ships, the seven. Yeah, oh, on the 7D. Yeah, that looked really cool. Um, I'm gonna be using the. Which one is it? Um, is it this one? I think it's this one, the bright gold and brown. Or I think there was a gold and green too. Well, there's gray, violet. Oh no, old gold and violet, but I don't want violet. There's blue, green, blue, violet, or maybe it was the No, this is the Galaxy set I have. I think it was the Magic set that has the gold and green. So I have to order that. But I want to do his skin in like a goldish, greenish color shifting tone with black underneath. I got a whole plan. Let's get some music on. It's funny, like if you just leave it alone, it kind of just slowly settles in. And then you can just go in with your bit and shape it, kind of. It works really well. I've said that like 100 times probably. And I found that if you just kind of tap the stick on there, it kind of picks up most of it that gets left over on the stick. You just want to be careful not to touch this shit because it's super toxic. Oh, where did it go? Sorry, I'm trying to set things on fire in here. Nope, not that one. Oh, what the fuck? Don't you love that when you drop something and it just disappears into the fucking ether? Like, just gone. God, fucking annoying. Okay. Dude, I'm not touching nothing, Aaron. Do as I say, not as I do. Yeah, no, this cup is there's no residue on the edges of it. I'm not touching nothing. Don't worry. I'm not using my fingers to sculpt any of it. Nothing. Now, if you guys, here's my disclaimer. If you guys go out there and do this with UV resin and baby powder and you fucking burn yourself or give yourself some crazy weird like infect, that's on you. It clearly states on my channel that My videos are not made for kids, so if you can't figure it out, that's cool. But I appreciate your concern, Aaron. I love you, dude. I really do. You know, just be careful. That's what I'm doing. Pass me a cracker. That pate looks great. When's the main course coming? I always appreciate your humor, Jody. All right, I'm happy with that. Okay. A little bit of cleanup here. Pass me a cracker. Oh, can I tell the other hobbyists in the room too? When you sand this stuff down after you clean it up, it smells absolutely delightful. Oh yeah, I'm wearing a mask right now. My garage door is open. Got my fan on. Probably go till about 10 o'clock tonight, maybe. I was feeling rather inspired to get down here and start telling Lori's story and working on her dragon. I want to get some primer down tonight so I can start some painting tomorrow. I figured, you know what? It's Sunday night. I don't have to spend the entire day in the office killing 12-year-olds on Xbox. So here we are. The way this stuff like sculpts on this model is trippy. It works. Thanks, Jody. Yeah, I'm really excited to start getting some color on this beast. I think I'll be ready to pull out the airbrush after I fix these wings. Yeah, I love the way it blends. God, I like this better than the Fun Creek Hole UV resin putty I was using. Shit's expensive, man. I'm like, this time I'm gonna just try the baby powder trick, see how it works. And it's fantastic. Cures up really fast. All right, so one of the questions I ask, like every time I'm live streaming, what everybody eat today? What did what was for dinner tonight? God, Lori, I hope your family brought you food and you didn't have to suffer with hospital food. Of course, I'm sure they have you on a very specific, strict diet right now, too, I'm assuming. This is just a little isopropyl alcohol here. I'm going to spray that down on the wing just to clean it up and get all the dust off of it from the sanding. I like to use 91% IPA. And then I'm going to take my blow dryer, and or I should say the blow dryer I stole from my wife 2 years ago when I started this crazy ass hobby. Bacon sandwich. Dude.
I made bacon today. I made I made my wife and I bacon and bacon cheesy eggs uh, with salsa and a tortilla. You know, pretty simple breakfast. Super bad for you. You had a 4x4 with raw and grilled and fries. A 4x4. What's a 4x4? Is that In and Out? Shit, did I bring my little air blower down here? I didn't. Okay. All right, I think both wings are ready for paint. And once we get paint on them, of course, that'll every fucking little mistake or something that doesn't look good will show up, and then we may have to go work it again. Those wings are phenomenal. Those really look cool. Oh, you're gonna love this, Lori. This is gonna be so fun. This is so cool. Not the worst reason to do something like this, absolutely. Um, but I'm having fun already. Oh, it's In and Out. Yeah. Oh, that's right. You're in Vegas right now, huh? Watching all that. Right? I don't know how you handle that music, bro, but to each his own. I'm glad you. All I care about is that you're happy, dude. Happy, safe, and well. Feeling loved. All right. I think my airbrush is actually ready to go, like now. So, as I've discussed with other models that I've painted, like figure painting, stuff like that, the questions come up like, why do you do a zenithal highlight or a volumetric highlight? I know you love techno, dude. Um, and it's really not always necessary, especially if if you've been painting for a while, whatever. You don't have to do it, but depending on the model, which way does he go? I always forget. Depending on the model, it can come in handy. Is it here? I do this every time I have to figure out where the damn dragon goes. That doesn't feel right either. There's like a little sweet spot. He just goes boop right in. Oh, so what always confuses me are the two doors. So you have this door here, and then the other door on the back, and that's obviously the door that he fits on. And you can see how like part of the spire here is taken off to fit the slot. So a little lighting and position adjustment here. Now I'm going to mix up some primer. It's time to get some paint down. I think this model's going to go relatively fast compared to a lot of my models, namely because of the techniques I get to use for something like this. Yeah, this is my Harder and Steambeck Ultra. It's the Squidmar anniversary edition or whatever. They only made like 5,000 of these or some shit. I don't know. It's an Ultra. Doesn't matter. I kind of want one of the silver ones better, but I got a 0.28 millimeter nozzle and needle in it, and I think that should be adequate and sufficient for anything and everything I'm going to do with this model. Hopefully that's enough paint. I feel like I never mix enough paint. This is made for airbrushing. It's an air primer by the Army Painter. I still put thinner in it. You can put thinner in it, retarder, whatever works for you. But I use their thinner and flow improver combo. It works great. For primer coats, I want the paint pretty thin. And this is a really nice flat black too. I really like it. It takes paint really well. And I like to use these little pipettes. You can also use them to stir, just keep kind of squeezing them. It's a really good way to stir up the paint. But nice, clean, and easy way to get paint into your airbrush. It's my favorite. Now, he's not a super huge dragon as far as scale goes, but once his wings are on, I mean, his wings are like out to here. It's pretty impressive. Oh, as I was saying too about the volumetric highlight or the zenithal highlight, whatever you want to call it, um, something like that is definitely going to help you figure out your shadows and stuff on a model like this. Not the dragon, the guy in the background. What guy? Yeah, hey, I mean, whatever music you're into, man. I mean, I like it when it works for me, you know? It's a mood thing. Most of the stuff I listen to is really mellow, though, for the most part. And there's a lot of detail on this thing that's starting to pop out. Jennifer's here. What's up, girl? Jody. Oh, you're cracking me up. That's my chat monitor. Is that better? Yeah, I just use my tablet to look at my chat. That's funny. So, Jen, dude, what? Jen's one of our regulars here in the chat, on the channel. Tonight we've got Lori in the house, and this is a very special project we're working on for Lori here. What's Jen duding about? I'm just using the hair dryer to get this dried up so I can handle it a little more. So if you're just getting in, this is a dragon for Lori. And Lori has, Lori, can you remind me in the chat what your condition is right now, if you don't mind? Um, if you can't talk right now, or you're passing out or something, that's fine. I'll have to go over to Instagram to look everything up again, because I don't have it by memory yet. What's Jen duding about though? I don't get it. Did I miss something? This is a dragon for Lori though. Lori's got major issues going on with her kidneys. I will post a link in the description, or there is already a link in the description posted. And I'm going to be including a little blurb there from Lori herself, about what's going on with her right now. And we're going to try and get her some help as much as we can, anyways, in any way that we can. We're here to help. We love you, Lori. This dragon is for you, girl. Oh, what a cool looking little castle. Oh, I don't see your post either. Yeah, I am on a Sunday. It's rare, I know, but I was feeling inspired to get started on this model. I wanted to have some progress on it done, ready for tomorrow. Um, the sooner I can get to painting it, the better.
So here we are. And I thought, it'd be a little more fun and cool to get started tonight. I've been pretty much sitting in my office convalescing all day and killing 12-year-olds, not really being very constructive. Clean the house, shit like that. Well, welcome, Jen. I'm glad you're here with us. And that's looking cool. Oh, that's gonna paint so nice. So while this is drying, start painting our friend here. Ah, there's a little tiny drain hole back here that I missed. Oh yeah, Jen, printer resin and baby powder. Friggin' amazing putty, UV putty. Um, yeah, and it's got really trippy properties. You can see it liquefy. You can see it. So like, I'll stir it up, and it's grainy and weird, right? And then when you let it go and kind of start moving it around like wet sand at the beach, it liquefies. It's really trippy, but it works absolutely fantastic. Yeah, it works amazing. I'm never ever buying freaking UV putty again. Like, such a good hack. Highly, highly recommend. Yeah, it is sort of self-leveling for sure. And depending on how you mess around with it, it does different stuff. You can mix it differently too. You know, I just kept adding resin to the baby powder or baby powder to the resin until I got the consistency I wanted, and it was doing that, and I was like, whoa, that's really cool. Yeah, and there's some texture in this dragon I didn't even see until I started putting paint on him. And Jody, thanks for coming and hanging out tonight, man. Everybody. Lori, appreciate it. Of course, I want Lori here. This is all for her and to bring awareness to kidney disease. Again, anything you guys can do to help. Share these live streams. Don't forget to hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Share the live stream. Anything we can do to get Lori some help. She's going to need it, sadly. Of course, I didn't mix enough paint. Why would I do that? Oh, you're working on Voyager. Very cool. I'm just going straight into the pot, straight into the cup. Pro tip, well, anybody tip, when your paint starts getting like that on these Vallejo bottles, it's really good to just wipe them off. You don't want dried paint clinging to these things and then falling into your airbrush while you're trying to load it, or even if you're loading a cup, and pre-mixing. Oh, I like these pipettes for mixing in your airbrush too, because if you just want to add straight into the cup, you can just use these pipettes to stir your paint once you add your thinner. Just give it a couple squeezes, and that mixes it really good. And then just pour it back into the cup, and you're ready to go painting again. Other door. Hi, Jade. Welcome in, man. I use I use every paint. I have my favorites. It's a great question, by the way. I have my favorites. I like to use Vallejo a lot. That's what I'm using right now for primer. I use cheap ass rattle cans from Lowe's, craft paints from Michaels or Hobby Lobby. You know the Cracker Barrel paints or whatever they are. I like Citadel colors, by Games Workshop. I use even these really cheap Amazon paints that I found by Roy Zafar for airbrushing. These are fantastic paints. Um, it's really all about the mixing and what's working for you. You know, it's there's no rules. As long as you're achieving the look you're wanting and your goals are being met with the paints you pick out, that's all that matters at the end of the day. But yeah, for me, I like Vallejo, Citadel. Um, yeah, Vallejo, Citadel, Roy Zafar, the cheap shit. I have a whole set of Pro Acryl paints. Those have come in nice for a few different models. I just have like a basic set of Pro Acryl too. I'm not really super familiar with them yet, but I like it so far. Like the paint's not bad at all. All right. Oh, there's so much cool, fun detail in this model. I keep seeing like, oh shit, you know what? We need to put some moss down here. The scale, I don't know. We're gonna play around with that. Painting Klingons is the worst. They killed my son. Jody. Oh, you're too funny, dude. By the way, shout out to shout out to everyone. Everybody gets a shout out tonight, but no, especially shout out to ugh, brain farting. Shout out to Lori. Shout out to Trek Mods. Shout out to Jennifer, Jade Herbert. Welcome in. Big shout out to you, dude. Guys, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, and definitely go check out the link in the description down below for Lori. That's who this dragon is for. We're raising money for kidney disease awareness. Well, we're raising money for Lori's upcoming struggles here with her kidney disease, I should say. Trying to help the girl out. Here's where I get to see how my gap scene worked out. Some dill from the spice rack. That's a great idea, Jody. Oh, dude, I have so much scale model moss laying around. Like, it's ridiculous.
I actually have so much of this stuff. I sent Jennifer a care package with a bunch of moss in it just to get rid of some of it. Plus, I knew it would go to good use. See, you fill a gap in like that, and you put paint down, and then you can see. Maybe nobody else would see it, but I'll see that shit forever. Oh, Jen, you're gonna go get baby powder tomorrow and try it out. Dude, it cures so fast. For anybody new too, by the way, there are no such thing as stupid questions. If you have a question, don't hesitate to ask. If I can answer it, I will always try to answer to the best of my ability. And if I don't know the answer, I'll tell you I don't know the answer. I'm not going to bullshit my way through anything. We don't do that here. This is a place for us to learn and share together, and that goes for me too. I don't fucking know everything and don't profess to, but between all of us here, We can figure it all out. That's the best part about this community. My favorite part. You doing okay up there? Question mark. Checking in on the wife. Shit, she's probably already laying in bed. She sent me pictures of my cat Winston. He's a total daddy's boy. He's sitting on the kitchen table across from the front door, just fucking bummed. I don't know if you guys can see that. He's just staring at the front door right now, waiting for me. He was mad before I came downstairs, too. He saw me putting my shoes on. He does not like it when dad goes out. Poor dude. He's such a daddy's boy. I love him to death. Sucks. He's not very cuddly though. For as much as he loves me, you'd think he'd want to like go to bed and cuddle with me. Our littlest one, Kevin, he's the cuddler. At least with me, I should specify. He does not like to cuddle with my wife. In fact, he treats my wife like shit. He he's like he likes to just all he wants to do with Jenny is bite and scratch and play. But with me, he's absolutely docile. Um, he knows I'm the alpha in the house, so he doesn't mess with me. And then our oldest one, Finley, that's Mama's cat. They definitely, they certainly pick you, not the other way around. Oh, I got a good one for you guys. How you doing over there, Lori? She's so quiet. you must, you must. I can't imagine how long your day is, girl. That's gotta be. Oh, it's gotta be exhausting, honey. I feel for you. Is Lori still with us? Can only imagine how long your days are sometimes. Would not blame you if you fell asleep already, girl. We're all here for you. That looks nice. Or do I have it the wrong? Oh, these wings. The keys are great on these wings, but they're a little finicky. It's like it's like when you're putting a USB port plug in, you know, you flip it around a few times before you finally get it. Look how big that wing is. It's super cool. Pretty well balanced too. Like even with just the one wing on there, it stands up on its own pretty well. Obviously, I don't want to go jerking it around, but poor guy. I'm sure Winston will be just fine. Poor little guy. Oh, we got some other parts here we're gonna have to primer. The tail, painting the tail is gonna be a weird one because there's two other separate parts for the tail that articulate around the model, and to get the seams right, so that one, how does this one go again? Yeah, the way it's gonna assemble is gonna be kind of funky. So I'm gonna have to basically fix the gap as I'm putting it together. And then this part of the tail for the bottom fits like this. So pretty freaking impressive model by CA3D Studios. Those guys are some next level digital sculptors over there.
Check that out, Jody. That's the whole model, except for this little spire. I think there's a smaller spire too, somewhere. Or is that just the one? I think it's just this one. This one goes in here. Gonna paint your dragon, gonna paint it good. Oh, that's interesting. They actually put a little tiny key on one side for it to fit there. Shit, I'm gonna have to paint this one first before I even stick it on there. Okay, Lori, thank you, girl. Medicines are kicking in. Yes, good. May you have a wonderful night's sleep and restful, hopefully. And thank you, Lori, for coming in. This is for you, girl. I'll be back on tomorrow. I'll give you, I'll let you know when I'm getting on, so you can come in if you want, if you're able to. No expectations. Just hope hope that you feel better and are kicking ass tomorrow. Thanks for stopping by. This is for you. So for anybody that hasn't heard, I'm doing this for my friend Lori, who has stage 4 kidney disease. She's leaving the chat now. She's got to get some rest. She was with us today, watching the live stream from her hospital bed while she's getting infusions, and oh, she's got so much shit going on. I feel for her. She's one of my dear physical therapists that have been helping me out tremendously. So I was honestly pretty shocked to find out that she's been dealing with all this shit while helping me, with my physical therapy. Like, just amazing to me. So if you guys can help out, the link's at the bottom in the description, and anything you can do to help is amazing. Thank you. Shit. Gotta be a little faster because I do have paint in my airbrush, and that's not something you want to leave in your airbrush for too long. Never let paint dry in your airbrush. Ever. You'll just have a bad day. I just realized you guys can't see what I'm doing down here. Sorry about that. Set that aside to dry. Sounded like I was running low. Time to reload. So again, super quick way to load your airbrush. Add your paint directly to your cup. And with practice, you'll get to know what feels good as far as how much thinner and flow improver you put in. You can count your drops and measure that way. There's lots of different ways to do it, but eventually you just figure it out. It's just second nature. And it depends on the paint too, how much, how much thinner you're going to add. And again, I'm using a pipette to stir it. Mix that up really good. And then we're back to painting. And this is just Vallejo or Army Painter airbrush primer. Nothing fancy. That was really cool of Kenny to stop by tonight. So a big shout out to, wait, I have two of these. Okay, well, I don't need two of them. I only need one. Cool. Um, yeah, that was pretty cool. Kenny from Hobby Link International stopped by tonight. Drop in and show some support for Lori. So big shout out to Kenny over at Hobby Link International. We appreciate you, brother. Oh. Don't be afraid to steal your wife's blow dryer.
That's what I did. You might be missing a few toes in the morning like I did, but you know, they grow back. Mine haven't grown back yet though, to be honest. Ah. Had a couple of funny comments come in uh, on one of my videos. Was it last night or Saturday night? I thought they were pretty interesting. And I'd like to know your guys' opinion on this too. So I think, I think it's fair. I'm not angry with what they had to say or anything like that. Maybe they're watching right now. Um, but the comment was something to the effect of ew. Like, ew, gross. And I was like, ew, what? And then the person responded with, your channel's called the 3D Painter, and you're using freaking AI. I think I got that verbatim, what they said. And I'd mentioned too, I said, while I was waiting for them to answer why they were saying ew, I said, hey, I'm open to any constructive criticism or anything, like please tell me what's ew. And this was the Mara Jade video, the short that I dropped. And again, they just said, your channel's called the 3D Painter, and you used freaking AI. What's your guys' take on that? You've probably seen the Mara Jade short that I dropped, I'm assuming. If YouTube's doing its job, you got a notification and you went and checked it out. Hopefully you did. I thought it was pretty cool. um, Now I know there's a lot of shit out there about AI, using data centers, and the data centers use all this water and da 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 da. And I think people that actually think that all that stuff is true that they hear about with AI and everything, there's a lot of bullshit going on out there, just for one. And they don't really know what they're talking about. But I want to know what you guys think about it. And not just what you think about AI in general, but what do you think about my use of AI? You know, I commented back to the person. I said, um, you know, Look, dude, I thought you had something constructive to say. Um, I could bring up the comment right now. I'm just busy. Um, but I said, I thought you might have something constructive to say. You know, um, I'm just having fun, dude. Like I, what's wrong with me using a fun use of AI to bring one of my creations to quote unquote life? I 3D printed this thing. I painted it for, I mean, hours. Took me hours to paint that shit. And all you have to say is, ew, AI. Like, yeah, here I thought you were going to comment on the actual work I did, the model that I finished. And I'm not offended. I'm not offended at all. And I feel it's I feel it's a valid comment. I think that person's entitled to their opinions and their thoughts on the matter. Um, but yeah, I used AI to bring Mara Jade to quote unquote life by having her swing her lightsaber around and shit like that. And I think it looks cool at the beginning of the video. It's fun. I don't do it all the time, but for that video, I thought it'd be fun. I'm advertising? What do you mean, Jen? I'm advertising what that person said? Because I really don't give a shit what they say. It's my fucking channel. I'm gonna do what I want. If you don't like it, you can keep scrolling. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna use AI all the time to bring every single one of my creatures to life or whatever I do, but sometimes it's fun. And it's not like I'm using AI to like make fake people try to sell you something or whatever. Oh, I'm advertising my work in my channel. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. That's really all it's about. Sorry, I'm not. Sorry, I don't have a fucking degree in animating and couldn't just animate it myself. Um, but either check out the rest of my channel's content or go fuck yourself. I mean, that's pretty much how I feel about it. And of course, I went and looked at their channel, and I was like, "Bro, you have 14 subscribers, and you don't post anything but like your video games or some shit." So I'm not really super concerned about your opinion. Go check out the rest of the Go check out the rest of the channel if you want to criticize something. Have something constructive to say. It could have been my daughter. I don't know. But I will give them this. Whoever it was, they liked my response. When I said, I thought you might actually have something constructive to say. Um, I spent hours upon hours on this model and painting it and printing it and everything, and all you have to say is, ew, AI. Like, okay. That was literally my comment. You can go to the short and read the comments. But yeah, But I know people have some concerns about AI and data mining, data centers, and all that other shit and stuff. And it's like, dude, careful what you read. There's a thing called science, and we actually have some pretty fucking amazing technology out there. And if you think we're really using that much water, you might want to look into it a little better. Oh, it's a total troll. Yeah, it was a real life person, I'm sure, but still. Oops, I just fucked that up. Like I said, I really wasn't that worried about it. I was like, that's a good point. I know people have some valid concerns about AI and data centers and shit. I'll ask the subscribers about it. I'll ask the friends. What do you guys think? Maybe this isn't the best forum, since this is supposed to be about Lori. But I can't talk about Lori all night long. I don't know enough about her to do that. I just know she needs our help. She needs everyone's help and support. That's what we're here for, fam. All right, that's looking pretty good. I think we can clean our airbrush out now. I think. Let's assess the situation. So I'm going to do a deep clean on the airbrush right now, which means water. And I'm going to take my dry brush that I like to use to clean my cup out. Dry brush is really good to use when you're cleaning your airbrush out. Jody, in case you're listening. The reason why, if you use a brush like this to clean out the inside of your cup, that ferrule on the brush is going to scratch up the inside of your cup. And over time, those little scratches are going to collect paint, and it's going to make cleaning out the inside of your cup a pain in the ass. So when you use a dry brush with a big wide ferrule like this, the edges of the ferrule never actually touch the cup. It just rolls around. You actually do more damage to the ferrule of the brush than you do the cup. You don't do any damage to the cup because you're not touching it at all. But yeah, that's how you want to do that. Oh, you just finished cleaning yours? Nice. And since I'm in my garage, I have if you ever see me pull away with my airbrush, I'm usually just dumping it on the floor in my garage. I'm fortunate to have that ability. A lot of people keep like a little kitchen trash can underneath their workbench, and you just slide that out, and you can use that as your dump when you're dumping your cup water from your airbrush out. Whatever works for you guys. Most of you here in the chat right now get this, but for anybody who is watching and doesn't know, it's what we're here to do. I just kind of walk you through everything as I go along. I just spew and describe what I'm doing in painful, exquisite detail. And sometimes, every once in a while, somebody does something differently than I do, and I love hearing about it because I might want to do that too. So don't be afraid to share your techniques and things that you do. I always appreciate it. So after I rinse it with water a couple times, I like to fill the cup with 91% alcohol and just make sure we're spraying real clean and good again. Get all any little scobies and things that might clog it up out of there. So that's clear, and then I'll take a little bit more water from my little squirt. I use these surgical bottles. It's like a medical cleaning bottle. These are fucking great for airbrushing. I've had this for like 2 years, and like same fucking bottle, and they're like literally 99 cents. They don't cost shit, but they're great for cleaning airbrushes out. So then, yeah, I'll usually after the alcohol, I'll just give it a final rinse with some just straight water, distilled water, and I'm ready for my next color. Um, all right. So I think now what I'm gonna do is get everything assembled, and we're gonna do a zenithal highlight. I was mentioning earlier, I think before you came in, Jen, I don't always need. I'd probably never need a zenithal highlight, but in this particular case, I want to do one because it's also going to help aid in the actual painting of this dragon, especially around here. Wood needs to be painted white first before you start laying down your wood colors. And by doing your zenithal highlight or your volumetric highlight is another word for it. You can Google that. I'm not going to explain it to you. Um, I should explain it to you. That just makes me a dick. Um, but yeah, you don't always have to do this. In this particular case, though, I want to put some volumetric highlighting down, especially on these little spires, because I'm going to paint those to look like wooden shingles, and there's going to be some claw damage here on the roof. Um, and I want to get some white paint coming down from my light source to highlight all those details and make it that much easier for me to put the browns and the washes down to bring these little spires out. It's really gonna bring out all the little details in the model. What this one goes in right here. There we go. And it's crazy how they fit this together. It's kind of going to be a pain in the ass to paint parts of it too, but my biggest concern is getting the dragon all consistently painted. It's totally doable, but yeah. Aye, she's a little top heavy, Captain. Oh, she does have some big jugs. I wasn't talking about her, mate. Okay. I was talking about the ship. I don't know how Scotty talks. I'm sure Jody does pretty good impersonations. I do good voices. I don't do good impersonations. I do Beavis and Butthead to the T. However, I do Cartman pretty damn well. Now, where the fuck does this one go? Oh, that goes way back there. All right, I can zenithal highlight this one separately. Oh, airbrush. Yeah, airbrush paint. Okay, let me catch up with the chat here really quick. Hey, Yule's in the house. I'm so sorry, dude. I didn't see you come in, man. I'd like to use a 10 milliliter. I think it's a dropper. It's a squeezy dropper, and I use that to pull the paint out, and then switch out with some water a few times. Yeah, I mean it's similar concept there. Yeah, no, I do save my paint for sure. Yeah, I use I was mentioning earlier, I use these pipettes typically to draw paint out from a cup, you know. I also use them to stir because you can just squeeze and stir, just blah, 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 jiggle it around and stir it up just by squeezing it. And these things are stupid cheap too. But yeah, whatever works, to get in there and get it cleaned out. Absolutely. Yeah, I like the pipettes. I forget who I saw using that way back in the day. I was like, dude, that's a good idea. Yeah, I save as much paint as I can too. Truth be told, that cup was empty, so I didn't need to worry about saving any paint. But yeah, paint's fucking expensive, man. If you can save some, if you got anything you can save, that's a good day. I agree, 100%. Especially when you're not using like cheap craft paint from Michaels or some shit. You want to really conserve your Vallejo and your Citadel. So fucking Citadel, especially. Good God, that shit is so fucking expensive. And I like what a lot of people do. I know Gambit Neo he transfers a lot of his Citadel paints over to dropper bottles. I want to start doing that myself. Let's see, airbrush colors. There we go. So white paint, I'm sure most of you guys know this. It's the worst. It it looks chalky. It's a really tough pigment. Um, the key to getting white to not look chalky, if it's possible, and just to get it to spray right, um, it's all about mixing it. You just want to make sure anytime you use your white paints, fucking mix that shit as good as you can because the pigment is so heavy it drops down really easily, and you just want to make sure it's really well mixed. So I have like two or three agitators that I put in this bottle. I like to shake them around quite a bit, like this, because that drags them on the bottom and gets that pigment lifted out and put in suspension. And that's what you want. You want all that pigment in suspension as much as you possibly can. And then I'll throw it in the vortex mixer here. So Yul, I know and I hope I'm saying your name right. I don't know if that's your real name, is Yul Adamas. Beautiful name, if that's it. Um, but if you're just coming in, this is a project I'm doing for my friend Lori. There's a link down in the description. She's suffering from stage 4 kidney disease, and she's looking to be getting a transplant and everything. And so I'm trying to help raise money for not only, well, I'm raising money for her, but also trying to raise awareness for kidney disease and kidney health. And this girl is like a marathon runner. Like, she's taken extremely good care of herself her whole life. You just never know when you're going to wake up with really bad news. And all of a sudden all of a sudden you're just trying to fucking survive. And that's what my friend Lori is going through. She's not only my friend, she's my physical therapist as well. One of my physical therapists. So we've been getting to kind of know each other here and there, and just she's an awesome woman, and I'm just trying to help her and her family out as much as we can here. It's what we do for our community. What the freaking hell am I doing here? By the way, the resin that I use to make the UV putty, the resin putty, I just used the Anycubic Standard Gray. And what I did was I filled the cup up with resin to about here, and then just slowly mixed baby powder in until I got it to the consistency. I can't really describe how it works. You just have to play with it. But it's really trippy, man. When you're messing around with it, it gets chalky and kind of textury and weird. And then it's like wet sand on a beach. If you start to jiggle it, it starts to liquefy. It's got a really interesting viscosity. But it's the first time I've tried it, the baby powder and resin putty method, and holy shit, it works really, really well. So I'm just gonna come right out and say it. Like, don't fucking waste your money on like all those. I'm not gonna say any names. Just don't waste your money on expensive UV putties and shit like that. You can make your own with a cheap. I think that bottle of resin cost me $15, and you only need a little bit. And as long as you keep this out of the, I'm gonna leave this. I'm gonna save this stuff and just keep it away from sunlight. But I think as long as you keep it away from sunlight, it'll last you indefinitely. It it's good shit. Like it works amazing. I could even take like ABS, like it flexes a lot more. Yeah, I've actually been Jade. That's a good point. I was actually talking to my friend Gambit Neo, which by the way, big shout out to Gambit Neo. Um, Go check out his channel if you don't already know. He's a good friend of mine, and he turns out some absolutely fantastic models and some really good content. His videos are great. He doesn't live stream as much as I do. In fact, I don't think he really live streams at all. But check out his videos. The guy puts a tremendous amount of work into it. Highly recommend him. But anyhow, Gambit was telling me the same thing that, oops, sorry, he uses the ABS like. So I'm ABS curious. I want to check it out. So I don't know if you know the difference between ABS. I mean, I don't mean physical difference between ABS and standard resin. But what my question is like, what are the differences between your printer settings for, like, let's say, am I going to use a longer exposure time on the ABS like resin? Is that something that I'm going to be doing? So I'm going to mix up a whole bunch of this white right now because I know I'm going to be using a lot of it. But yeah, that's my question. Like, what are your print setting differences between the two? You know, between like a standard gray and ABS like. Exact same, huh? Okay, good to know. Yeah, because I do want to try that out, and I know there's not much of a big price difference. So good to know, man. Thank you. I'm the type, I just typically use whatever works, and I've always, the uh, the standard grays always worked for me really well. But one thing Gambit was mentioning to me is that like the the durability, they're all pretty brittle when it comes down to it as far as the resin, the different resins that are out there. They're all pretty brittle, but if you can add a little strength to one of your models by, using some UV, some ABS like resin or something like that, like why not do it? Especially if you're shipping models out. If you're doing custom model work and you got to ship that out to somebody, you want it to be as durable as possible. So ABS like would be good stuff. But yeah, good to know, dude. Thanks for the tip on that. So now I'm just doing our volumetric highlight. And for anybody watching later, I think most people in the chat right now know what I'm doing. Um, a volumetric highlight is just basically adding light. Think of my airbrush as a flashlight, and I'm just shining light down onto the model. I don't need it so much for the dragon per se as I want some white paint down on the castle. On these little spires and stuff because they're going to be wood colored. But for those of you that are like just getting started painting and stuff and you're not sure where to start or anything, this is a good place to start. It really helps you open up the model. It shows you the details. You know, you can see the textures just popping out when you lay that highlight down. A lot of painters, you know, a lot of painters will say, guys like myself, we don't need to do a zenithal highlight. But for people that are just starting out, it's a good, think of it as like a guideline. You're mapping out how you're going to paint the model, where highlights are going to be. And in the case of these little spires, for example, I need some white paint on them because um, browns work the same way reds do on black paint. Just, if you've never done it before, try putting red down on black paint. See what happens. And then try it by putting it down on white paint. You see the difference immediately. That's it. Huge difference already. I'll see. This time I do have a lot of paint left in the cup, so I'm going to use my little pipette to draw all that paint out and start rinsing this cup. I usually like to do a little back flushing too, just to kind of further help get that paint out of there. And hey, by the way, thank you everybody for coming in and hanging out tonight. It's very rare that I do a Sunday live stream, but I was feeling inspired and I wanted to at least get this far with this model tonight before I start putting paint down. I wanted to have a good fresh start tomorrow for Monday, ready to start putting some paint down and getting this guy done. Um,
I'm really excited to paint this model. Gonna be doing some color. We're gonna be using some color shifting paint on the dragon, so that should be pretty cool. I'm really curious to see how that paint's gonna work on the wings, especially. The concept I have is kind of like a goldish, greenish shift between the two colors, and then we're going to be adding a wash to pick up all these little details in the scales and everything. I think it's going to look really, really cool. Um, Hopefully, fingers crossed. You don't know until we start putting paint down. Um, but then the rest of it overall, I think it's going to be pretty simple as far as how the painting goes. If you've ever painted a miniature, um, you know how that works. Yeah, it does work really well on a dark overcoat. A lot of the dragon, I'm actually going to be going back over in darker paint, and then putting that down. But the horns are going to be normal. I'm going to make the horns, the mouth, and everything. That's going to look like bone. Um, yeah, I'm going for like a bony color on all the spines. So there's definitely going to be some contrast between the the glistening, color shifting body, um, and the bony structured parts of the model. And then the castle, I'm a little on the fence about that one yet still, as far as what color I'm gonna paint the rock. Um, I'm feeling like it's kind of a bedrock. It's gonna have some like a dark gray to it. But I'm definitely going to be painting the rock base and the underside of the castle. We're working our way up through the castle first. Dragon's going to be the last thing that gets painted. I think. That's actually something I really haven't given a hell of a lot of thought about yet either, as far as what the easiest way to paint this guy is going to be. Fortunately, though, I can separate the dragon from the base. Don't want to waste paint. Here we go. Back into the bottle you go. This is just super cheap U.S. Art Supply Airbrush Colors primer. It's a low luster satin white, and I absolutely love this shit. I use it for dry brushing. I use it for zenithal highlights. I use it for just when I need something white. It's really opaque. It paints nice. Um, Highly recommend. And it's best of all, it's fucking dirt cheap. It's a good paint. All right. Yeah, no, definitely, Jody. Couldn't agree more. Ow. There we go. I need that armature thing that Adam Savage has all rigged up in his studio. He's got the little ball and socket joint twisty things that he puts his phones on when he's filming. I've got a bendy one, but it's like metal, like wire, so it's like super flexy. Ah, ah. Oh, there you are. Oh, there went a brush. This is just 91% alcohol that I keep in like a medicine cup when I'm painting. And it's really good at getting paint out of the brush, you know, when the paint starts creeping up close to the ferrule. It really can help bring your brushes, some of your brushes back to life. Oh, I almost forgot. The color I'm using right now is Reichland. No, not Reichland Flesh Shade. Snakebite Leather by Citadel. It's a really good brown wash, and I've used it on like these little spire type roofs before on another model I did. It was a Batman model that had a bunch of these. But I'm gonna mix it up a little bit on this one. I think I might use some Agrax Earthshade, which is another Citadel paint. It's a contrast paint. I think a couple of the random spires are going to be done with the Agrax Earthshade. It's a darker brown wash. This also darkens up really nice if you just add Nuln Oil to it too. Another Citadel paint. Um, let's check one out with the Agrax.
So here, when I'm using this wash, you can see why that white coat was so important for these parts. Because if I left these black, there, there's no way this would have worked. But now that I'm applying this wash to it, we have some, it natural highlights. And stuff just falls right in there. I think I want it to be randomized too. So how's everybody feeling? How's everybody doing right now? Jody, how you doing, man? Jen, how are you? Jade, shout out to all you guys for coming in and hanging out and supporting Lori tonight too, man. I really, really appreciate you guys. I can't thank you enough for stopping in and hanging out. It's a good cause. Lori's an amazing person. She needs everyone's love and support and help right now. So I really appreciate you guys coming in. Spread the love, show the support. Appreciate it. Oh, this is all really looking so cool. This is gonna be so cool looking. It's just gonna get more and more fun, and like I'm gonna do a really like rusty gate on it too. Still kicking, Jen. All right, at a girl. You're fucking awesome. Can I just tell you that? You guys are all fucking awesome. I freaking love you guys. Are you live streaming right now, Jody? Are you multitasking? Isn't it late where you are, Jody? Or are you just a night owl anyway? Like you stay up all night or something, bro? I don't know what the time difference is where you. I don't even know what province you're in Canada. I know you're in Canada, right? I'm just live streaming until my phone dies tonight. Little castle's already starting to come to life pretty nicely. There's so much opportunity for detail in this thing. So now that I'm looking around the castle more as I get these little spires painted, I'm realizing like I definitely don't want to do like a dark colored rock. Like I want it to be kind of like granite, grayish looking, like this is some kind of volcanic spire. Definitely be gonna be using a lot of contrast paints in this model, I think. Here's a question. What are you guys all working on right now? What model are you printing? What are you in the process of painting? What's everybody doing? Love to hear about it.
I still wish we could share pictures in our chat. Just have myself or someone be the moderator to make sure nobody's sending me dick pics or something. Wouldn't be the first time. Oh, all done for the night, Jody? Well, dude, thanks for hanging out, man. I'm almost done. I'm done when my phone dies. So if my channel cuts out all of a sudden, that's what happened. I haven't done a work until my phone dies session in quite a while. I was excited to get this one going, though. Felt like coming downstairs to paint and listen to some tunes and chat with my friends. Help Lori's cause above everything else right now. That's what my focus is. Help give her some love and hope for everything her and her family and her little girl are going through right now. Oh, man. Some heavy shit. But we can still be lighthearted while dealing with heavy things. So here we are. And Lori's she's such a sweet, sweet gal. She's been a really big help with me and my physical therapy issues and stuff and things I'm going through. I seriously had no fucking idea she was going through everything that she's going through right now. When I heard about that, I was like, man, I gotta try and do something. So Jody's working on Voyager, but he's done for the night. Valia Ara, I hope I'm saying that right. Sorcerer from White Werewolf Tavern. That sounds cool. What's is that a book or a video game series? What's up with that, Jade? That sounds really cool. I'll have to look it up. 10% battery. Okay, we got 5 people watching right now. I got 2 projects done. 3D printed bust. Okay, cool. Are you showcasing that work on your channel or anything like that? On your YouTube? I'd love to check it out. If there's a place I can look at it. I love checking out other people's work. In fact, I'm going to give Jody a plug too right now. Trek mods. If you guys are into like Star Trek, spaceships, like scratch build, kit bashing, like cool shit like that, go check out Trek Mod's channel. Give him some love, like and subscribe. Watch what that guy does with models. Like, and he works in really small scales too. So it's crazy to see how he puts those things together. I don't have that much. I don't like to think I have that much coordination with my hands. I don't think I do. Not, I just fuck that. I just don't like working at tiny, tiny scale. Like this is almost too small for me. Like I can't see shit up close, man. I'm just doing like the preliminary washes on like the wood parts of the model too. I haven't even had to put on my magnifiers yet. I'm spoiled. Just getting bass tones down. Oh, hell yeah, Jody, you're welcome, dude. I mean it. I'm not just blowing smoke up your ass, dude. I love watching what you do. Cool stuff, man. I couldn't do that shit. Oh yeah, he uses like Jody uses like all kinds of cool electronics, so his like ships light up and shit. It's next level stuff. It's super cool. I mean, to me, it's next level. I'm still learning electronics and shit. I don't. It was rough enough for me to hook up a lightsaber. You're doing like multiples of LEDs and shit. I don't mind a little smoke up my ass. Yeah, me neither, man. That's fair. That's fair. So I'm told my setup that I'm using right now is good enough to, like I can join you guys on your group builds. I'm just got to take the dive and figure it out. Love to join you guys on your group builds though. That'd be fun. And these contrast paints are so good at just getting into all the little detailed cracks and crevices and shit, man. It's just a wash is all it is. It's nothing crazy. They're stupid expensive wash paints because I'm fucking lazy and I want it to do exactly what it does in one stroke right out of the bottle. At least for the initial layer or something. It just depends on the application. But Citadel paints really are amazing. It's liquid talent. That's what it is. Kind of like, what do you call it? A panel liner. That's what I call panel liners. Fucking liquid talent. Talent in a bottle. You just touch it and it makes magic, and it's like, okay, we're done here. Ah, that's cool, man. It's already bringing a lot of life to the model here. Just cruising around, making sure I didn't forget any wood elements or miss any. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Cool. How about Friday night? I mean, how do I do it? Like, what's the procedure? Like, I'm just recording with my phone. Like, like, how do I hear you guys? Do I just like? I don't get it. I'm stupid. I'm not stupid. I don't understand how it all works. Like, are you wearing headphones or some shit when you live stream so you can hear everybody talking and like, how does it work? I don't get it. Yeah, you give me the link, I join and we build, right? I get that. But how do I? Oh, earphones are necessary. Okay, that's what I want to know. I just have like a well, I have a stupid expensive pair of fucking JBL headphones. I also have a pair of Turtle Beach. I have a Turtle Beach headset that I could use, my gaming headset. Fuck it, man. I'll just plan for Friday. I'll have to look at my appointments, but I think that's totally doable. And I'll just plan for Friday. You send me the link or whatever, and I'll just fucking dive in and we'll see what happens. I think that's the way I like it. Like it's an honor for me to even just be invited to do your group build with you, man. I think that's super fun. Yeah, I have a mic. Like so I have a lavalier mic. This is my microphone and I just have that hooked up to Bluetooth. Um but my earbuds, I have like a $250 pair of JBL earbuds. And, obviously the mic's built into them. So those will work just fine. I've actually been considering buying like a legitimate microphone, but I like having my little mobile mic on my glasses because then when I walk around, my mic's just with me. So, and I won't play my music in the background while we're live streaming. Okay. Yeah, let's do it, man. I'll just try it out. I kind of remembered you saying something like that. You guys are all using lavalier microphones. Yeah. They're super handy, man. That's for sure. Oh, yeah, I gotta put this UV putty away. This stuff is just so trippy. What's that shit you used to make in like middle school? What's it called? It's on the tip of my tongue. Glop or something. I forget what it's called. But that's what this stuff is exactly like. I need to like wrap this little cup in a napkin so no sunlight can get to it.
That'll work. That should keep the sunlight out. Then I'll just stash it away somewhere. No, that's oobleck. No, yeah, non-Newtonian fluid. Yeah, it's oobleck. That's what it's called. Ah, I knew it was on the tip of my tongue. Okay, you can just go in the drawer here till I need you again. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Oh, you out of here, Jade? Dude, dudette. I'm not sure. It doesn't matter. Unless it matters to you. But thank you for cruising in and hanging out with us tonight, man. Dude. Everybody's dude. Chicks, dudes, whatever you claim. It, everything's dude. Chicks, guys, dudes. Oh yeah, it liquefies. Liquefaction. I am not a fluid dynamicist. Yeah, good night, Jade. Thanks again for stopping by and hanging out. Really appreciate it. And your input too. The input is always highly appreciated, man. Really, really appreciate it. Person. I keep saying man, it's just out of habit. I don't know why. I apologize for that. If you're a female, whatever you claim, Jade, thank you. Appreciate you. Big time.